Welcome back, and today we're gonna be doing My Hero Academia Heroes Rising movie. I just got back from watching it, so let's just jump into it. So before I start talking about the movie, I just want to make it clear, like the first half of this review slash my thoughts of the movie is pretty much gonna be spoiler free. So if you just want to come in here and watch like the first half just to see what I thought about the movie and what it's like, then stay tuned for that. But I'm gonna make it very clear when I'm gonna go into spoilers. And at that point, if you don't want to be spoiled, just feel free to leave. But let's just jump into it. So my thoughts of the movie was it was really good. The first My Hero Academia movie, I wasn't really into it. Like I just thought like the whole vacation to the whole technology island. I just was not digging that. Now for this movie, the pretty much A1, the class, they all go to this island where the hero that was stationed there pretty much just retired because of old age, and the island is a remote island. Nobody really, the population is really low, and there's not a lot of crime, right? It's like a close-knit community, not a lot of crime, if any. And pretty much the hero committee was like, how about we send students from UA over there, kind of like a internship, so they know what it's like to be a hero on a day-to-day basis, right? And pretty much all the students go over there with no teachers and no other pro heroes. And of course it's gonna go down. Something is gonna happen along the story where villains do go and the students have to take care of it. And again, I love the movie a lot better than the first one. It wasn't like a 10 out of 10 movie for me, just because while I like the villain, I like the like how the character was drawn and like the way he behaved and everything, I think there was some huge flaws with the villain's goals and why they were doing the things that they were doing. And on top of that, there's big weaknesses that they kind of like, come on, the weaknesses of this thing, and you're not even gonna attempt to like overcome your own weaknesses. That to me kind of killed it for me. Now the ending, like the last 10 minutes of it, were insane. I will say that. I mean, I did not see that ending coming. Okay. Now it's kind of sad because not only is the movie not gonna be canon, right? Like I don't think any anime movie, unless specifically they're saying that it is canon, but it's not the case with this My Hero Academia Heroes Rising. This is definitely not canon. So even though I love the ending and what happened at the ending was like, blew my mind, it's kind of sad that it's not really going to happen in the anime or the manga. But now I want to go ahead and go into the spoilers. So if you don't want to be spoiled, this is your chance right now to go ahead and leave. Again, I will say it, I am spoiling the movie right now, kind of talk about the biggest hype moments and what was going on. So again, spoiler alert, okay? So you gotta leave now. But the biggest moment for me in this movie was because when the action happened, like whenever all the fights started happening, that's when the movie was, it was really good. I love the animation, the fight scenes were done really, really well. And like the first half of the movie, I would say like the first 30 minutes of it opens up big. It opens up with the League of Villains pretty much rescuing somebody or breaking somebody out of transporting somebody, right? And that's the main villain. His name is Nine, and pretty much his goal, which is my problem, is he's trying to create a utopia or society where only the strong can survive. And that to me just, lack of character, lack of motivation. It's just like what every villain wants to do, right? Like Shigaraki, right? He's a great villain. Why? Because pretty much All for One just twisted his mind, pretty much just brainwashed this kid to be the way he is. And his motivation is just to cause chaos and not create like a utopia he just wants to create chaos because he was brainwashed by All for One. So he has some character development, he has some motivation behind what he's doing, but this character is just like, I just want to pretty much just create a perfect world where only the strong can survive and weak people are just, like slaves or whatever. Not a goal that I can get behind. But on top of that, like his biggest weakness is that if he uses his quirk, right? Because he has like one quirk, his original quirk, and then the doctor, right? This is the manga spoiler I was talking about, because we know in the manga, the doctor that pretty much said that Deku does not have a quirk and all that, he's a villain. Now, I don't know exactly too much about it because I'm not a manga reader. I just know from people and watching reviews and this thing blowing up, I just kind of read the synopsis of it. So all I know is that he is a villain, and he is in this movie. He's working on creating like a I guess a quirk that can steal other quirks. Pretty much the same quirk that All For One had. But it has some limitations, right? Like for one, the guy 9, the main villain, when he's able to steal quirks, he cannot stockpile them like All For One. He can only do 8. Plus the quirk that he can use, he has 9. And he is broken. He's OP as hell. But as he uses his quirks way too much, he pretty much, his cells start like deteriorating, and he just goes into pain and can't move, and just goes into like shock, and then he'll faint or whatever. And that's a big weakness. And that's again one of the problems that I have. Not because of the weakness, don't get me wrong. It's good that he had that weakness, because then he would have just been broken. But the fact that he knows he has that weakness and he does nothing about it, okay? Because the final fight, pretty much he loses because of that weakness. Like the heroes like Deku, Bakugo, all of them decided a plan to make him waste his quirk and make him go tired, and his cells, deteriorate, and he goes into pain and he won't be able to use his quirk anymore. That was the plan. But come on, you gotta see that coming. Like if you know that they know this, that they know your weakness, why would you start using your quirk recklessly and go into the situation that you will put into? Now, of course, the villain's gonna get a huge power up. Of course that he is. And this is the moment that I was like, damn, this moment made the whole movie possible. It's not canon, but I could see how Deku would do this, because he transferred One For All to Bakugo. And that's another thing I loved about this movie, because you know how Bakugo is, right? He's all like, yelling and killing, and he's like a thug. But in this movie, you can see the hero side of him, right? Because we really didn't get a lot of screen time with him in this season. We haven't really seen a lot of Bakugo and what he's capable of. But in the movie, they kind of focus on his like hero side of his character. Because we know that even though he's loud and obnoxious and he's all about being the strongest, when he gets down to the point where kids are hurt, or he's got to rescue town people, or whatever a hero has to do, he will do it, no questions asked. I mean, the teamwork between Bakugo and Deku was insane. That's why I love this movie, because we see two characters that hated each other. Well, it was one-sided, because Deku never really hated Bakugo, but Bakugo started resenting Deku, because now he's got One For All, and he's strong and got a quirk, and he started resenting him to the point where they even exchange blows. But he accepted him when it's time to rescue somebody, when it was time to be heroes and work together. Man, Bakugo and Deku have great teamwork in this movie. And it got to the point where Deku and Bakugo were down for the count. They were done, okay? Deku went 100%, arms are broken, he's done. And he says, look, if we want to win, the only way we can do this, I gotta give you the power. And now, some of the great thing that the movie does, it keeps the canon stuff. Like, in the movie, Bakugo knows that Deku has One For All. So he knows, and now he doesn't know that, you can exchange it, but he knows he has it, and, he has the secret between Deku and All Might. And man, I felt that scene. That scene was powerful, because how far Deku was willing to go to pretty much rescue the people that were being, in harm's way or were about to die, and the kids they were protecting. Because one of the kids has a regenerating quirk, and that's what the main villain is after. Because if he's able to get that quirk, now he can use all the quirks without being in pain and, his cells deteriorating and causing him to die. Now he can just regenerate and keep, fighting forever and become OP. Like, not as OP as All For One, but pretty close. And Deku, man, I'm telling you, they were all bleeding and everything, and Deku just gives One For All. He gives it to Bakugo. And now, remember, when All Might gave it to Deku, All Might could still use it, right? It was like an exchange of power. Like, All Might had like maybe 90%, Deku had 10, and as Deku got more and more powerful, All Might started, getting weaker, all the way until he fought, All For One and lost his full power. And so when Deku gives it to Bakugo, that was the highlight of the movie. Because, Deku did what had to be done. And he even says it, look, I know I'm the successor, but I know All Might would not be mad if I gave it to you, because you got the drive to be the next #1. You want to be a hero. I mean, they even tried to brainwash Bakugo into joining the League of Villains. He's like, nah, not for me. You know what I mean? That was back in season 2? So Bakugo is a top tier hero. Combat abilities, and now he's got One For All. man, he blew up, okay? So Deku and Bakugo both have one for all, and they're all going ham. Their teamwork was amazing. Seeing Bakugo use his own quirk plus all for one with the added strength was insane because they all went 100%. Like, remember when Deku fought Overhaul and he went 100%, like full. Yeah, they both did it and destroyed this dude. Now, of course, they all should have been dead after doing that because the only reason Deku survived was because he had Eri on him. But again, it's a movie, it's not canon, they can defy those laws. And Shigaraki does make an appearance, and I honestly wish he would have had like a bigger impact in the movie, but since it's not canon, it doesn't really matter. But when Shigaraki showed up, man, I was excited because this dude, he's evil, man. He's evil. Like, he did the same thing that he did to Overhaul, he did it to this main villain. And I'm pretty sure the reason why he did it is because not only does he have the injections that take, you know, pretty much takes quirks away, but I'm pretty sure he didn't want the heroes knowing that, you know, this villain, 9, the one that could steal quirks, how he got that quirk, because he didn't have that before. So, you know, if you're on the fence about watching the movie, my suggestions would be, you know, just see, if you saw the first one and you didn't like the first one, or you thought it was kind of okay, I would say this one is a lot better. I did just the whole villain in this movie, I liked it a lot better than the villain in the first movie. And the whole animation was insane. So if you just want to go in there for like an hour and 15-20 minutes, and you're gonna see some cool fights, because once the action starts, it goes all the way through almost, okay? They only have a couple of pauses in there. But the movie was definitely great. So if you're on the fence about watching the movie, I would say go ahead and watch it. Or just wait till it's out on Crunchyroll or Netflix or one of those anime streaming medias and enjoy it there. You won't really be missing it. It's not canon. So that's my biggest flaw with all these anime movies. When they're not canon, are you really missing out? Just depends how much you put, you know, how much value you put in the whole action scene and if you like the characters. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, the level of Bakugo character development in this movie is insane compared to the anime. So if you want to see that, yeah, go watch the movie. So thank you for watching. Go ahead and leave a like, subscribe, and I will see you on the next episode, or would it be movie? Peace out.